Hello learners, how are you doing? We thank God. I am back again for us to continue with our mathematics lesson. Last time, what have you learned? We have learned about fractions and we have learned how to multiply a fraction by a fraction. We have learned how to multiply a whole number by a fraction. We have also learned how to multiply a mixed fraction by another fraction. Today we shall continue with the same fractions, but our objective is to learn what we call reciprocal of a fraction. The same reciprocal of fraction can be said multiplicative inverse of a fraction. So today we are going to learn reciprocal of a fraction or multiplicative inverse of a fraction. Let's quickly look at what we call reciprocal of fraction or multiplicative inverse of a fraction. If A out of B is a fraction, then B out of A is called the reciprocal of the fraction or the multiplicative inverse of the fraction. I hope you have gotten what happened over here. Whenever they say look for the reciprocal of a fraction, it's not any big deal. You are to rewrite the fraction by exchanging the position of the numerator and the denominator. What I'm saying is that you can see that here our A was at the top, was the denominator, and the denominator was B. By the end of the day, it became the A became the denominator and the B became the numerator. That's why we are saying the multiplicative inverse. It means you just turn it upside down. That's all. You get what you call reciprocal of the fraction. Let's look at some of the examples to back what we just said. When they say find the reciprocal of 5 out of 7, it's just saying that you should write the 7 at the top and the 5 at the bottom. So our answer is 7 out of 5. Or the same expression is multiplicative inverse of 5 out of 7 equals 7 out of 5. The same thing, example 2. Reciprocal of 2 out of 3 or 2/3 is the same as reciprocal of 2/3 will give you 3 out of 2. Or multiplicative inverse of 2 out of 3 equal 3 out of 2. What about if you have 1 out of 13? You rewrite it. Now the 1 becomes the denominator. So we have 13 out of 1. And we have already learned that all whole numbers are fractions with denominator 1. So rewrite it. We don't keep 1 at the bottom. We just rewrite the number without the denominator 1. You see? So now let's look at the last example. What about if they ask you to find the reciprocal of a whole number? It exists. You have already learned that a whole number is a fraction and the denominator of that fraction will be 1. It means if they want you to find the reciprocal of a whole number, you just rewrite you write the fraction by sending 1 at the top and the whole number becomes the denominator. That is all. Now we need to also observe this. You must note below, which is NB, the product of a fraction and its own reciprocal or multiplicative inverse is always 1. What I mean is that anytime they say multiply a fraction by its own reciprocal, meaning its own inverse, okay, the answer will always give you 1. We are going to explain this in the next activities. So let's look at activity 1. Activity 1. Let's do this simple work. 2 out of 9, and we all learned that the reciprocal of 9 is reciprocal of 2 out of 9 will be 9 out of 2. Is it not so? So the work is to multiply this by 9 out of 2. How will it be done? We have learned how to multiply a fraction by a fraction, true or false. So it means we are doing 2 times 9 and then 9 times 2. Is it not what we have learned earlier on? Very good. Don't you think some things will be cancelled? As far as you have 9 here, 9 will cancel 9. And then 2 also cancel 2. So we are now having 1, 1, 1, 1. So 1 times 1 and 1 times 1. And we have learned that any number multiplied by 1 is the same number. So 1 times 1 will give you 1. 1 times 1 will give you 1. Right now I said that a fraction with denominator 1, we don't write it. We don't keep that 1. So to become a whole number, which is 1. And we even 1 over 1 or 1 divided by 1 will give you 1. So that is why we have said earlier on that any fraction multiplied by its own reciprocal will give you 1. Are you okay? Okay, so let's look at another work. Let's say they say multiply 2 whole number 1 out of 3 by a number so that you get 1. It's not a problem. You just convert this one into improper fraction by doing what? 2 times 3, we have learned all this in, plus 1 out of 3. Is it not so? And this one multiplied by what will give me 1. We have already learned that a number, a fraction multiplied by its own reciprocal will give you 1. Is it not so? So we want to find this fraction over here. We want to convert it into improper fraction. Then we find its what? Reciprocal, so that we can write it here to get our answer. So this one will be 2 times 3 will be 2 times 3 will give you what? 6 plus 1, 7. So you have 7 out of 3. Automatically, it is telling you that the gap will be here. We are getting 3 out of 7 because we have learned earlier on that if you are multiplying a fraction by its own reciprocal of 7 out of 3 is 3 out of 7. Is it not so? So that one will give you 1. These are the things we can do with reciprocal of a fraction. Class, what have we learned today? Today we have learned how to find a reciprocal of a fraction. And we have said that reciprocal of a fraction is also known as multiplicative inverse of a fraction. And we all came to a conclusion that any fraction multiplied by its own inverse, multiplicative inverse of a fraction or its own reciprocal will give you 1. Make sure you make good use of this lesson to solve your problems. So let's look at the activity that you are going in your house. Assignment number 14. Fill in the blank spaces. The same thing we did right now. You have to use the ideas and get this correct. Thank you for your attention. May you stay blessed. See you next time.